Hey everybody, Aaron Counts, Sage Dynamics. This week's questions answered video, what do you do for firearms maintenance? So for me, there's three general categories when it comes to firearms maintenance: pistols, rifles to include shotguns, and then precision rifles. As far as cleaning schedules go, my carry gun, my carry handgun, my patrol rifle, my duty handgun, those stay as clean as I can keep them. Even if I haven't fired them recently, if I've been carrying them for a while, I'll clean the lint out of them, make sure they're serviceable, make sure they're lubricated. Outside of that, when it comes to practice and training guns, I generally don't clean them until they start to malfunction. As an instructor, I like my instructional pistol to be able to replicate real-world malfunctions. So sometimes I'll take it 4, 5, 6, 7,000 rounds without cleaning to show the effects of that, if any, on the firearm's performance. With rifles, same thing really, and the only caveat to that would be I would punch the bore out to open if the group opened up. So if I'm using my instructional rifle and I'm noticing that I'm shooting 3 MOA, whereas I know the rifle's capable of 1 MOA, it's probably time to punch that bore out. Precision rifles, I generally clean them pretty much the same. When the groups open up, that's when I'll give it a thorough cleaning. As far as cleaning products go, I'm pretty boring. I use Impro 7 to break up the carbon and just generally get the most of the gunk off of the firearm, whatever it is I happen to be cleaning: handgun, rifle, precision rifle. And I use copper brushes, rods, and patches. And there's really no rhyme or reason to the methodology. I still clean the rifles the same way that my grandfather taught me. I clean handguns the same way when it comes to the barrel specifically. 3 or 4 wet patches, then run dry. Copper brush periodically throughout that until finally you're able to push clean patches out of the barrel. At that point, the barrel's clean, or clean enough that it makes no difference. Precision rifles especially, it's really easy to tell once you've gotten the barrel clean because your groups will be consistent cold to hot. And there's a lot of voodoo and witch doctory out there about the cleaning of a precision rifle and what you should use and what you shouldn't use, and barrel break-ins, and I'm not even going to get into all of that. But I generally use Impro 7 for almost everything. Now, lubrication and cleaning, kind of two different subjects. So with lubrication, and I know this might hurt some people's feelings, I still use Fire Clean. It is not, in fact, Crisco, but it is a non-toxic, so it's an organic base of some sort. And I actually like this for lubrication purposes. But what I like even more about Fire Clean is the fact that it keeps my suppressors from carbon bonding to the muzzle device. So I'll treat my muzzle device, put my suppressor on, run however many rounds, suppressor is going to come off. I haven't had that luck with some of the other products out there. So I do appreciate that in regards to Fire Clean. As a lubricant, it works really well. It keeps carbon from atomizing as reliably as some other products do. These are not necessarily run out and buy these products recommendations, but this is what I found to work for me. I also like FP10. RAN CLP is very good. I don't like actual CLP if I can avoid it for most of my firearms, because just the basic of that detergent-based lubricant, not something I really care for, and that's getting really into the minutia of things. As far as advice goes, I would avoid the desire to use hardened tools and hardened brushes to clean, regardless of how aggravated you get. I know the AR, especially direct impingement, people can get aggravated and they can use a Dremel or they can use a wire brush or a metal scraper. And I would strongly advise against that, because steel on steel is not good, aluminum on aluminum is not good. Generally, you want to go with a softer metal for that cleaning. That's why copper brushes, brass brushes have been very popular, because it's a softer metal than the metal that you're attempting to clean. So your chances of cumulative abrasiveness causing damage to the surface of the metal are going to be less. And again, I'm not a metallurgist, but I know from experience that if you use steel on steel or aluminum on aluminum, you're going to start to cause abrasion and damage to the parts that you're trying to clean. So I would definitely avoid that. Nylon brushes is a question I get from time to time. People ask me, hey, would you use nylon over brass or copper? My feeling on that is nylon hasn't really shown any significant advantage in cleaning over what already is out there. So for me, it's not something I'm going to default to, but if you feel like nylon does the job better than copper or brass, by all means. Cleaning firearms isn't necessarily rocket science. Some people put a lot of thought into the way they clean their firearms and they have their procedure. It's almost superstitious in a way, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if a firearm can't function reliably after 400 or 500 rounds, then maybe that's not a good carry or a duty gun. That being said, You don't have to use my cleaning schedule, obviously, because my needs and round count is going to be different than yours, most likely. But that's pretty much it. I'm pretty boring when it comes to my cleaning superstitions. A good solvent, a good lubricant, good cleaning schedule depending on what the gun's purpose is for, and that's pretty much it. If you have any other questions that you'd like answered in the video, you can drop them in the comment sections below. I'm Aaron Cowan with Sage Dynamics. Train accordingly.